It's going to be a very, very intense journey.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 159 of the Frame Skip Podcast. I am Andie Eller, and I'm joined by the full crew tonight. It's been a little while since we've had everybody on. George from Short Box Summary. How are you, George?
I am tired, but I am good. How are you, Austin?
I'm great, and I am in the same boat. I did not sleep well last night, and I am tired, but I'm here, and I'm ready for whatever may come on this fine evening.
What the fuck?
Among other things, I'm going to skip the next person I was planning to go to and go to Seth Slakehouse. What's up, Seth?
Oh, not much, man. I feel stronger every day. I am at a loss for words as to what I just witnessed. So whatever I had in my brain is gone.
Great. Yeah, I agree. So if you're not watching the video, I would highly recommend doing so because Coach just crawled under his desk or something.
Yeah.
But he's back. He's back. Coach,
Very limber.
Everything
very
okay
limber.
down there? What's going on?
Everything's good. Everything's good. Hey, so I have the blurry background. I got 3 items in my room. Guess what they are?
Dude, the fan's like barely blurred too. It's like
Your
Sure it's
webcam
happening.
thinks the fan's a person.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. It's like a head.
That's why
I think it might be because his shirt's black and then it kind of like all links together. So I'm wondering if it's like tricking it.
that's why I don't do the back, like the blurred background. I would love to, but like, why the fuck is the lazy boy perfectly in picture? Like, I don't get it. So I'm like, well, that looks weird. Like,
So they moved me last week out of the barrack dorms. I'm into a house now.
What does your space compare like size wise to what you had? It looks a little
So-
smaller.
No, I mean this is a lot. Well, the actual room is, but the closet's huge. So
Okay.
it's a townhome. There's 2 rooms upstairs, and then downstairs you got the living room, kitchen, and laundry room. So
Nice.
still kind of looks like a dorm, by the way.
yeah, it
Yeah.
is. It's chill.
You should get like some. Did you ever watch? Did you ever watch Toy Story, Coach?
Of course,
You should get.
we all did.
Should get some Toy Story sheets back there.
Well, no, these are flannel,
yeah, dude.
man. Oh, there it is. See, you can see it.
I was gonna say you should get some
These
posters.
are flannels. Look at that.
Yeah, get some posters in there. What's going on? You
Like-
gotta liven it up some.
That looks like a Fight Club poster should be up there in the
Some
background.
Motley Crue.
A
Coach,
Motley
wasn't
Crue
it
poster,
you
perfect.
who had posters at one point, but they weren't lined up evenly?
Yes, that was me. Seth.
Oh, this is a
That's
great
pretty
start to this
sweet.
show. This is a great
Yeah,
start
I
to this
love
show.
that.
Happy New Year, Seth.
Yeah, Happy New Year, buddy.
Yeah, I guess it's been a while since the two of you have been on one
Been a
together.
while.
Never
Great-
a thing
great song.
I can't remember.
All right, guys. So we've got
We're
to
gonna make this as difficult as possible for you.
Yeah.
What
No, I
flavor
love
you
it.
got, Seth? What flavor you rocking?
Pink refresher.
Those are good, huh?
Oh yeah,
Mm.
expensive.
Love those
though.
damn
Too
things.
expensive.
Yeah.
Cab Sav. Also kind of a purple refresher.
And George, what flavor you got?
Just
Just
Cab Sav. Cab Sav.
I've never heard of Cab Sav.
A little Cabernet Sauvignon. Never
Okay.
heard. You've never heard of it.
That's dry.
Yeah.
That will put
Austin, you gotta rein us in, buddy. You gotta.
that will
Bang it
put the wickedest
case-
headache.
In
gotta
case
take
anyone was
control.
curious, I've got some fresh Soda Stream bubbles
Ooh.
with a little bit of mango in there. A little bit of mango.
Oh yeah. There you go.
And I got
go.
some decaffeinated water with some coffee.
Decaffeinated water. What the fuck?
All right, everybody. All right. So we've got a couple topics to hit on tonight. We're going to be talking about the briefly that Nintendo Switch 2 reveal, which we all kind of saw coming, and then as we always try to do at this time of the year, our goals for 2025. We will review what we had last year and see if we accomplished any of those. And then we'll give some new ones for this year and the rest of this year. So, but before we get into that, I want to talk a little bit about what we've been up to, as we always do. So, Coach,
Yes.
What have you had going on? What have you been up to since we last recorded?
So besides working, right? So I've been playing Dynasty Warriors Origins. And I've put about 24 hours into that sucker.
Damn.
I know. And it's the Breath of the Wild for me, where I could just play and lose myself, lose all sense of time. So and I freaking love it. It's my third Muso game, but my first Dynasty Warriors game. And to me, I'm enjoying learning about all these characters because there's such good character development with this one. So when I go back and start playing the older ones, I'll know who these cats are, you know? So, and I really like the fighting system. So it's good.
You're playing on PS5?
PS5.
Nice.
Yeah. On my digital, my slim.
Very good. Yeah, I'll just say
Yes.
quickly, I've been playing that too, although nowhere near as much as Coach. Coach got the early access version. I got the normal one, so I had to wait till Friday to play it, and didn't have a ton of time over the weekend. But I'm probably like 3.5 hours in, playing on PC, and I love it. I really am enjoying it so far. So I'm excited to dig in further.
I'll say my one and only disappointment with this game was, and it's not the game itself, it's the fact that when you pre-order, right, you got it 72 hours early, but also you get the soundtrack. But I did some research. The only way you could listen to the soundtrack is in game. Like, you can't download it to your phone or anything like that and just kind of listen it whenever it's around, because Dynasty Warriors, the whole thing, that whole genre has really good fast-paced music, right?
Yeah.
So I was disappointed with that. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, I don't really get that when like special editions of games released digitally. A lot of them do that, where like Astrobot, for example, when you pre-ordered the deluxe for that, it did something similar where it came with the digital soundtrack, but the only way you could listen to it is if you were on your PS5 on like this app that you downloaded. There's no way to like put it on your phone or anything. It's very odd. So I don't know if it's like a licensing thing. Probably is, but very strange. So, but yeah, I think it's really good so far. It's like really well crafted compared to the other Dynasty Warriors games. Feels very AAA compared to the other ones that feel not. I'm not saying they feel bad, but you could tell they're a little lower budget. This one's definitely higher budget by comparison. So, yeah. Anyway, anything else you've had going on, Coach, that you want to bring up?
Yeah. So I'll talk to you about them in my goals, because it relates to my goals. So I'll talk about it. My goals. George?
Been playing Spider-Man 2 finally. I got that game on launch, and after launch, like right when I got back from Vegas, and I stopped playing it because I thought it was really boring and tedious and annoying. And I still think that, but man, swinging around feels way better now that I've unlocked some stuff. And as a villain, I hate this interpretation of Kraven as a villain. I don't like him having an army of sycophantic followers and all that stuff. I think those guys are such a pain in the ass to fight that it just makes it not fun. I also tried out Suicide Squad because that was a PlayStation Plus game. Fine. Okay. Didn't deserve all the hate, but not the Arkham game people wanted it to be. So I get their frustrations, but a lot of people were like just super dicks about it, which I don't appreciate.
They're adding like maybe they already have, but like a single player mode or something, right? Where you don't have to be online to play it.
They're adding an offline mode, yeah. Which like that should be like every game should have that built in. The best version of that I ever saw was they were taking the Killzone Mercenary servers offline for Vita, and they just added a bot mode. And I'm like, yeah, this is great. Like, just give me infinite multiplayer matches with bots that I can adjust the difficulties of, and you can like get every multiplayer trophy that you need through that. It's a little harder without boosting, but just do that, man. Like, Call of Duty games should do that. Like, I don't understand why they don't.
How far in on Spider-Man are you, George?
Are we in a post spoiler society for Spider-Man 2?
Yes, way past.
I just got a new suit.
The black and white
First
one.
time.
The first,
Well,
like the big deal suit.
the first.
Oh,
time?
Hold on. Yeah. Maybe we need to stop this conversation before we go any further.
I guess the first time.
Okay, so
You're talking just to clarify about the black suit, correct?
yes, is that a yes?
Yes. Sorry.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Sometimes your audio is cutting out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
okay.
he is not talking about the one that the three of us are thinking.
Okay. I'll be honest.
I plan to finish it this week, so I thank you for not ruining it for me now, especially since I'm so close. But by Thursday, I hope to be done with it, and we can talk about it more next week.
Are you gonna platinum it?
I think so. Yeah, it's got like a 67% platinum rate on PSN profiles, so I assume it's going to be pretty easy.
If I could get it,
Yeah, it's not.
you could get me.
I'm pretty close, but I don't know. I'll be honest. I've never bought Craven as a villain. I've never really liked him. I always thought he was really boring. So playing against him in Spider-Man 2, I was like, okay, this is fine. And I'm really surprised they decided to make a movie about him because I do not think Craven's that interesting. And people that have forever been about Craven's Last Hunt. I read Craven's Last Hunt and I was like, this is the one? This is it? Okay.
I read that one in high school, and I really came around on it in high school. I'm like, this is sick. This is the Dark Knight Returns for Spider-Man. But the fact is, like, it's always going to get compared to Dark Knight Returns. It's always going to get compared to Daredevil Born Again. And it's just kind of like a photocopy of a photocopy at that point. Really pretty, though. Really good art.
Yeah, and then for some reason, I think in the early 2000s, maybe later, they decided to bring the Scarlet Spider back, and you thought it was Ben Reilly, and then it turned out it was Craven for some reason in the Scarlet Spider suit. That was really annoying.
Yeah, I don't love him as like honestly like Ultimate Spider-Man where he's like a reality star. That's like I think the most he's ever made sense to me. I don't get it. And like again, I hate the stupid robot dogs you fight. I hate those robot vultures you fight. Like those things are just so fucking annoying. I still think Miles Morales is my favorite of those three so far, just because it really respected my time, told like a quick 10-hour story.
Yep, I agree, 100%.
It was earnest. Like this game's earnest too, but it's like kind of annoying where it's like that one mission where it's like you and Harry sneaking through your high school, just like reminiscing. I'm just like, God damn, this sucks. Like this. I get why you're doing this. Like you're building up like a relationship that we didn't know anything about. So like I get it, but God, I fucking hated that so
Is that
bad.
the level where you're like riding the bike?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think you're right. Yeah, man, you ride a bike like a surprising amount in this game, and it feels like shit every time.
It feels like you're on a tank every time you're riding this bicycle.
Yeah, I thought Spider-Man 1 was overall a much better game. We were supposed to get a Venom spin-off game, and we never got it. And I don't understand what happened to that, because that would have been awesome. That reminds me of like Ultimate Spider-Man, where you could play as Venom and just eat people. And that was sweet.
I think we're still supposed to.
I think we're still going to get it. I think because the
never announced
Insomniac...
it.
Well, the Insomniac leak showed it, and so I think it wouldn't surprise me.
There hasn't been any DLC for it, right? Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me if that came out like a fall, winter release, or even spring next year, to be honest with you, because I think like the calendar right now shows Wolverine this year, and that's just there's no way that's happening. There's absolutely no way that's happening. I think the Venom game comes out before Wolverine.
You don't think Wolverine comes out this year?
No, I don't think there's
because
any way.
The leaks should have playable.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing too. To your point, the Venom game, it showed it was coming out last year, and it didn't. So I don't know. I think we're getting Venom before Wolverine. That's how I feel, at least. But I don't know.
So I because I'm just not excited for that Wolverine game whatsoever. I just do not care.
Yeah,
I would be all over a Venom game. I'm kind of tired of Wolverine. You know.
Yeah. I don't disagree. Seth, what have you been up to?
Let's see. Caitlin got really into Tamagotchi, so we started watching Digimon. She's never watched it before, so I have been rewatching Digimon Adventure with her. We're at episode 25, moving right along. I told her to be prepared because the later seasons are tearjerkers, and it's rough. Because like Digimon Adventure Try, that whole show is just a tearjerker. But I don't know if she's gonna have the same reaction to it as I did because of nostalgia. You know, that's the thing.
It's
and then
different because like
Last
we were
Adventure-
kids when we watched it, and then
Yeah.
growing up with it, I don't know. It might be a different reaction for her.
Yeah,
But
I was Ty's age when I first watched that show, so it hit a little different.
But I was telling her, I was like, Digimon Adventure is so good because like there's so much character growth with these kids. That's the whole point of the show is like seeing these characters grow, and like it was a really awesome watch as a kid because it like I think it teaches you important lessons as a kid about like you know friendship and bravery and like really good virtues, I should say. But yeah, I'm really excited, especially to get to like Adventure Try, which I've only seen once, and I'm not excited to watch Last Adventure Kazuna because that movie broke my heart into a million pieces. And then I remember, I don't know if you guys remember me saying this, but like the director came out and he's like, "Yeah, I made that movie because I want these adults to grow up, move past Digimon." And I'm like, I hate this guy. I want to break his legs.
So
Tell
am
me
I
to grow
wrong?
up.
Or they're doing another one after that, right? Isn't there a new movie coming out that's set after that?
This is the first I've heard of it. They tried to reboot Digimon Adventure in 2020 and it did not go well.
Yeah,
I
that's
see.
what I wanted to ask because I saw that on Crunchyroll, I think, or on Hulu, one of those two, and I wasn't
Probably
sure like
both.
if it was just like a remake or not. I
It
didn't
is.
know what it was.
It's a remake, but not a shot for shot remake, and they cut out all the character growth. So it's like it doesn't even make sense. Oh, and Omnimon shows up in the second episode. So that's
Huh.
weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, they basically do War Game in the second episode with Omnimon and whatever that weird spider guy was.
Diaboromon, you fucking idiot.
Diaboromon, that's what it was. But there was none of the emotion that was in there when like, you know, Ty and Matt are like going into the internet and you know, there's none of that. It's just okay, well now he's a mega level and now there's Omnimon.
That was sick, man. Like that, I think I've talked about this before, and it's like probably my Achilles heel is like Y2K era style and aesthetic. And that movie about like the internet being like a physical place you could go, fucking sick, man. And like the entire time, was it Izzy is like trying to like wirelessly connect and like has to get like the actual like like the Linsky's card that he has to like slot into his laptop to actually get a connect. It's so good, man. So good.
So the movie I'm thinking of, it's actually already out. I don't think I realized that. It's been out for a long time. But Digimon
Whoa.
Adventure 02, the beginning, it's set after that
Whoa.
Kizuna movie.
What in the fuck?
It came out in 2023.
You're such a fake fan, Seth. God, I thought you liked this shit.
So the Wikipedia says it's a sequel to Last Evolution Kizuna and serves as the series finale to Digimon Adventure 02.
Yo, this is awesome, dude. Because the season 2 characters were like strangely absent from Last Kizuna.
Yeah.
They disappeared. They were like kidnapped.
So I never finished Try, like, because I was watching the show version of it, because I know there's like the movies, but there's also a show like cut up of it. And I think I got about halfway through, and I mean, I really enjoyed it, but I got sidetracked with something else. But I have not watched, obviously, this or the Kizuna.
Dude, I'm so scared. I'm scared to watch this. If this movie disrespects me as much as like Kizuna does, and like it, see, like because Kazuna's like a great movie. It's like one of the greatest anime movies I've ever seen in my life. But it was so heartbreaking at the end that I don't want to watch this one because I'm scared that's going to do the same thing with season 2 characters. I'm like horrified.
Man,
I don't know. What are we talking about? Oh, and also I've been playing Monster Hunter a lot in preparation for Wilds coming out. I mean, you've been grinding through the old Monster Hunter world, doing great. Had a bit of a roadblock today, Austin. Real upsetty spaghetti about it. I told you I fought the Viper. Toby could you know what that thing
Kadachi.
is? Yeah, Kadachi. Had a rough time, so I'm like, all right, you know what? Time to go back. We're gonna go back. We're gonna farm some decorations. Turns out, can't really do a good decoration farm if you're under Hunter level 50. So at Hunter level 20, I was like, that sucks. So and now I'm going back and playing all these optional events and stuff like that to get my Hunter level up to 50, so I can do 9-star missions. Not a great time, I'll be honest. Although not a great time.
I didn't think about that. I forgot that worked that way in that game. That's kind of interesting, but yeah, no, it's obviously to ping off what Seth said. Yeah, I've been playing, and Andie as well. We've been playing World with him, trying to get him through Iceborne ahead of Wilds, and it's been fun to go back to that game. I mean, it's been so long since I've played it, but of course, for those that are unfamiliar, that's like how Andie and I really started talking, was over World when that came out. I mean, we met through other means, but what really started our like friendship together and eventual relationship was World and just playing that game together. And so it's been fun to go back to it. So,
Dude, you were sweating the first time you guys played together, weren't you? You were probably so stressed. You're like, I gotta look as cool as possible. I can't be fainting.
That's why I was playing
shit,
Insect Glaive, Seth. That's why I was playing Insect Glaive. Just flying through the air.
Don't make any mistakes at all.
So wait, so what happens to World when Rise is the new one, right?
Rise
Rise
was
is
the newest one that is out. That's the Switch one.
Okay. What happens to like? Do they shut the servers? Is it like old NCAA games, like the servers go down, or is like can this game exist in perpetuity? Could the first date you had with Andie, is that always going to be there, or is it going to shut down?
Yeah, no, I mean presumably it would be there for a while. I mean, I'm assuming they would shut it down at some point. The Monster Hunter 4 servers were shut down recently on 3DS, but that was only because of the complete Nintendo 3DS
Right.
online shutdown. So it wasn't really a Capcom decision. So I mean, a lot of people still play World, like it's still heavily played. So I bet they keep them up for quite a while.
They're very
So,
different games too. So
yeah.
I mean that makes sense.
So, but yeah, I've been playing some of that. That's kind of been it though for me. Andie and I finished Hunter x Hunter, rewatching that, and we went out to Kinokuniya and bought the manga chapters that come after, because the way the show works, the 2011 version at least, it ends on a good note. Like it's a good stopping point, but there's more. The manga continues after where it ends, and so I've never, as much as I love that show, I've never proceeded further, and so I'm excited to start reading what happens after that point. But
You're a Game of Thrones fan, buddy.
Seth would disagree. Yeah.
You're a Game of Thrones fan. It's never gonna end. You're never gonna get that satisfying conclusion.
I know. Well, it's time. It's time. I've waited too long. I've never read a single piece that comes after, but I think now's the time. So,
boy, let me tell you what. I got caught up on Demon Slayer recently. Phenomenal anime. I recommend everyone watches it. It's the most beautiful anime I've ever seen in my life. Didn't want to wait until September for the movie to come out. The conclusion. Read through the chapters. Not a great ending. Not great.
And what's the name of it?
Demon Slayer.
How many seasons are there?
4 or 5?
3 or 4.
Yeah.
And is it about slaying demons?
Correct.
Yeah. That's
dude,
spot on.
One of the greatest. First off, 4 seasons. One of the greatest anime I've ever seen in my whole life, Coach. Really recommend it. It's phenomenal. Second, I'm hoping they adapt it in the anime a little bit better, because the anime has been flawless. So, and
is the original creator involved with the translation from manga to anime? Like, is this like the director's cut when you get the anime? Like, are there tweaks made by the original creator? I don't follow the industry close enough to know.
I have no idea.
Did Akira Toriyama fix things that he didn't like about the books?
No,
Sometimes
they kind of fucked up Dragon Ball.
Okay.
It depends on the director and like the author of the manga. Sometimes they'll do that, but usually it's kind of 2 separett things. Like it follows
Demon Slayer
the same
seems
stuff
to be
as the
pretty.
manga.
Demon Slayer seems to be pretty shot for shot. It's a pretty tight story. It's really, really good, dude. So good. And it's animated by UFO Table, which I think are the best animators in the entire industry. They're so fucking beautiful.
Better than Mappa?
No answer. No reply.
Yeah.
Mappa's pretty damn good. They made those final
Yeah,
Attack on Titan seasons.
Yeah, they're Attack on Titan. They're Chainsaw Boy, Chainsaw Man, right?
Yeah.
So you guys are aware of the Fate series?
Mm-hmm.
And like Unlimited Blade Works? Well, the like unofficial name for Unlimited Blade Works was unofficial or Unlimited Budget Works, because those movies and anime are like they it's like watching something that melts your mind.
Yeah.
It's crazy. The things that UFO Table is able to do in animation I'm telling you guys, watch Demon Slayer. You'll understand what I'm saying. It's fucking good.
Also, I get why Coach asked, because it's like you could be saying Demon Slayer or you could be saying Demon's Lair. Like I get, it was a good question, Coach. I'm back on your side.
Yeah.
Thank
There
you,
you go.
George.
I was never offended, Coach. It was
It's
Austin that was
awesome.
making.
I
It was
saw
Austin
it
that was
on your-
making all the snide comments.
It was
I
both of
heard
your
him.
faces. Both your
I heard
faces I
him.
saw.
But as Luke did it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the best Star Wars movie of that trilogy. Yeah, I agree.
I agree. So on that happy note,
before we go down that rabbit hole,
yeah, let's talk about the Nintendo Switch 2. I don't think there's a ton to discuss here, but I do think we need to talk about it because since the last time we recorded, the Nintendo Switch 2 was in fact officially announced by Nintendo in this random shadow drop YouTube video.
but was it really random?
No, I mean it really wasn't, considering
Yeah.
everybody knew it was coming out that day. But yeah,
They had to. They had to do it because of all the leaks, right?
for sure. So I don't really want to get into like the system itself. I think everybody's kind of seen what it is, unless you guys really want to talk about it. What I'd like to hit on more so is the fact that I think really the discussion point to be had is so many people are saying it was a disappointing announcement, a disappointing reveal, and people were saying they were disappointed in the system with this video. And I just find this fascinating because obviously we've had literally 2 months of people leaking the system and the Joy-Cons and literally everything about the system. In fact, I think we still know more about the Switch 2 from the leaks than what Nintendo has shown. Like, we know the GPU and stuff inside and like how it compares to the old Switch because of the leaks, not because of Nintendo. So, and there's this whole mouse thing that they haven't even confirmed. So there's just a bunch of different stuff. But I guess I just wanted to go one by one quickly and ask you guys what you thought of the reveal, if you thought it was disappointing. George.
I think it's not disappointing. I don't care. But like what's really annoying is like, yep, it's real and we'll talk more about it in 3 months. Like that's like for fuck's sake, man. Like they really had video games like kind of by the throat the past couple of years, right? Like every time there was like a criticism against PlayStation, you like couldn't lobby that same criticism against Nintendo. Like they were quietly crushing it in every regard. And it's like, oh man, like people are like literally losing their minds about what you're gonna do next because they're so excited. And you just immediately throw cold water on them. And it's like, ah man, I would like in a month. Like just say in a month. Like that's all they had to do. Or just have some more concrete information for this. But this was just a tease and I found that incredibly frustrating.
Yeah. Seth, what did you think?
Yeah, I agree with George. I think, dude, if first off, I don't like the idea that it was the leaks that caused the show to be disappointing, because you had like big companies like D-Brand leaking their stuff simply because Nintendo refused to talk about it, and they're like, well, we have to sell like product. We have to like, we've made these things and we have to sell them. And when it, like a company does it, it's like they're trying to force Nintendo to say something. So it means that they've probably been waiting a really long time. Also, how long can you reasonably expect something to sit in a warehouse before one of them walk off? There's already a rumor that there's a few like for sale in Japan, or not. I'm sorry, in China, in the black market. So I don't know. I think the leaks are just going to happen naturally when you wait this long. I mean, people have been saying like Nintendo needs to say it. Nintendo needs to talk about this thing for like a year now. So I don't know. As far as like the reveal goes, I'm with George. I think that was super annoying, dude. It reminds me very much of, I don't know if you guys remember, I think it was the PS4 reveal. Square Enix showed up, and the only thing they had to say was, we'll talk about the PS4 at E3. Please be excited. And then they walked off.
And you're like, bitch, it is February.
Yeah. like, what are you doing, dude? Like, I don't know. Are they really going to have more games to talk about in April? Why couldn't they just do it and let people be excited for it now? I don't understand the decision to do it. The other thing I just wanted to say real quick is I found the reveal to be quite boring simply because my issues with the Nintendo Switch were not addressed. like I told you last night, Austin, like the Joy-Cons hurt my hands to hold, and they didn't change the form factor. They could have done anything. They could have even made like the Steam Deck, the backs of them have like they like the controller grips. I don't understand why that wouldn't be a possible. The reality of it is that the Switch is a massive success, and Nintendo didn't really need to improve on anything besides the power to keep it relevant. And I'm ready to see some of these games that have been rumored to be in or known to be in development from Nintendo for a long time. Like, it feels like I've been waiting on information from the new Pokemon Legends game for like 18 years. I have no idea when that was even revealed, but it feels like forever ago, you know? And I don't know, man. It seems like it's time. And I don't understand why they're so hell bent on waiting as long as possible. Let people be excited. Let people save their money up. Tell them the price. I don't see why they wouldn't want to do that.
Coach.
So I'm like the outlier in all this. Like, I honestly don't care about any of the way that they announced it, because they announced it, and that's all they had to do. It's the Nintendo's in a different situation than they were when they announced the first Switch, right? Because they're coming off 13 million copies sold, of the Wii U. So they were in kind of desperation mode, right? So they needed something huge to get everybody excited. So here, they got the brand. They already established what the Switch is. So they're just showing you, okay, we made changes. This is what they are. And then April 2nd is when we're going to do the big direct. And that's 2.5 months away, and I'm fine with that. Like, I'm honestly fine with that, because I just got so much going on. It's just it's a non-issue for me. And I'm still thinking that if they said it's coming out in October, I know the internet's going to stop and collectively, soil their underpants, right? But it is what it is. Like, they didn't need to go and do what they did last time, because they already had success. What I thought was funny is people complaining that it was called the Switch 2. It's like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Of all the things you're going to complain about, like, I don't know. I'm excited for it, but the date, all that stuff, I just don't care. We'll get it when we get it. You know what I mean? We'll get it when we get it. Until then, I'm playing Dynasty Warriors.
Yeah, I'm kind of in between all of you. I think the announcement itself, I don't think was terrible. Like, I really didn't have any issues with it. What I do have an issue with is what Seth and George both noted, which is the fact that they were like, here's bare minimum information, and then, by the way, you'll get more in 2 months. I think that strategy was weird to me. But then, to Coach's point, I mean, they are coming out on top right now. I mean, the Switch is massive, so they kind of have that ability to be like, hey, we can do whatever we want with this announcement, and we know people are going to buy it because it's just a stronger Switch, which is what people are calling for. But I don't know. I think it could have at least used like a release date or month and a price in this announcement. I think that even alone could have taken this a little bit further for them to say, here's the release date, here's the price, and we'll give you more information, obviously, before the release date in April. So, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, obviously, I'm going to buy one, as I always do. But, yeah, I think they should have announced the thing a little sooner, considering all the leaks. I mean, gosh, when like things first started coming out about it, I'm surprised they didn't just pump this video out and then throw it out there so that they could get ahead of everything else. But here we are. So
I also want to say is people were complaining about Mario Kart, like the graphics. I'm like, hold on.
We saw like
First of
5
all,
seconds of it.
Yeah, you don't know what build it was. It could be a tech demo for all we know. That doesn't. It's not. We don't know if it's a new game yet. It could be just a tech demo that was running. So people's like, oh, the graphics and blah. But you got to remember, it's a cart game, and I'm actually more like, honestly, I don't even care for another Mario Kart game. I'm excited for the Sonic Kart game.
Yeah.
Just that one little teaser
Yeah.
that we got at what was it, the Game
Game
Awards?
Awards.
Yeah. Sonic's Kart? It's freaking fire, bro.
Yeah.
Just saying. Just saying.
I don't think they threw this together because of the leaks.
Oh,
Like
for
that
sure.
animation of like the Joy-Con moving like a mouse across a flat surface like that, you don't throw that together in like when it was CES 2 weeks ago, right? Like it's not, you can't do that fast. It's a huge company. Millions of people need to approve and sign off on something to get an external facing video like that made. It wasn't a response to the leaks. I think they might have taken information out of this video because of the leaks, where it's like, fuck, we got to do something now. We weren't planning on doing something now. We were planning on talking about it in February. Like, when was the last Nintendo Direct? Was last June? Like the last like Nintendo proper Direct?
I think that's
Yeah.
what we reached last
In the
episode.
summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I assume like we were probably scheduled to get one of those in February, right?
Yeah.
And then like all this shit happened, and that like forced them to like edit a video that they probably planned for a later date. Or I assume that Direct is going to be April, right? Like they said more information in April. It's like, okay, maybe that was a Direct date. It is frustrating where it's again, like Coach is right. Like ultimately, like I don't give a shit. The frustrating thing is like when you see like the Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic remake, like they just fucking announced that with like no seeming plan, and they clearly have more of a plan for this. But it's like the weight where it's just like, man, like couldn't you do this when it was like more of a tangible thing? And so the fact they just like come in and like confirm the Nintendo Switch is real, like they weren't gonna make a Nintendo Switch 2. And they're like, yeah, but like the real one's in 3 months. It's like, why did you do this? Like, why? Like, I know exactly why you did this, but like, this isn't really what people wanted. Like, I didn't think they did a good job of like reading the room, but I don't think anyone's doing a very good job of reading the room.
Maybe
in
it's for the
2024,
investor meeting too.
Yeah, maybe. But
You
like,
know,
that doesn't
wanted
fucking
some
help me.
shit.
I don't give a shit about Nintendo investors. I don't expect you
Yeah.
guys to either. You're
No.
not Nintendo investors, right? So
I could-
fuck them.
I could, to your point though, I could easily see this have, like, had it been in a Nintendo Direct. Like, I'm assuming we probably still get some sort of game Direct soon because it's been so long.
I don't know.
Again, maybe like a first or second week of February, something like that. I could see this being a video that played at the very end, saying like, "Oh, by the way, we've got one more thing, and it's this," and then the announcement for April. I mean, I think obviously it would still be the same video, but in that context, I think it works a little differently than just like dropping this video randomly online and saying, "By the way, here's nothing, and we'll give more to you in 2 months."
Well, that and like, there's a million questions for them to answer, and I know they're probably going to answer them. But like, remember, like Xbox Series X came out, and like, oh, these games are enhanced on Series X. It's like, all right, well then, why would I buy the Series X version, which is $10 more, if I could buy the Xbox One version, and then it just is automatically enhanced? Like, oh, it's backwards compatible, but like games are realistically probably more likely than not going to run better. It's like, all right. So if a game like Metroid Prime 4 comes out on both Switch and Switch 2, why wouldn't I just buy the Switch one? Because it's bound to be cheaper in all likelihood, and it's supposed to run better. Like, there's a million questions for them to answer. I'm glad they answered some, like Nintendo Online is sticking around, and like the UI is presumably mostly the same, but like all the features are being kept going forward. Like, that's great. That's always the most annoying thing when a new console comes out. It's like, how the fuck did you guys not have Netflix on day one? Like, how did you do that?
Yeah.
So that's nice. Also, I feel like Seth was about to say something. I'm sorry, bud.
No, you're fine. I was just gonna say, guys, like I'm super hot on this thing. Like,
Mhm.
I love my Steam Deck. And video games these days scale very well. More powerful Switch is very exciting because I feel like Nintendo just missed that mark, right? Like, if the Switch was more powerful, they would have gotten a lot more third-party support because video games do scale so well these days. And they were sort of getting it, but they were getting like really dumbed down versions, like The Witcher 3. It looks really bad on Switch, right?
Wolfenstein.
Yeah. It's just, I'm really excited because this seems like another chance for Nintendo to grab back some of that third-party support they lost when they were very stubborn in the previous generations about not building powerful consoles. Now they don't really need to do that anymore because things like the Steam Deck and the PS4 Pro, these are things that are still in circulation, and video games are scaling very well backwards to them. So like you're getting things like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth rumored, that's crazy because like I told you guys, it barely runs on PS5. They're gonna have to change that game drastically to get it to run on the Switch too. I don't. You said it was Steam Deck verified. I don't know how. Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, because they just showed that video the other day of it running on the deck. That was like a square thing they showed. So
yeah,
I agree with you though, because I know on PS5 it's like really blurry on base PS5 and has a lot of issues. So I don't know.
But
my biggest question.
Exciting.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Seth.
I was done.
Okay, so my biggest for me in that direct, besides of course, obviously the games, my biggest questions are going to be day one. Will there be any games that will automatically play better? Performance better, right? 60 frames per second without a patch. And what games will have patches? And I can guarantee you, Nintendo's going to charge for those patches. So if they have a Breath of the Wild remaster, you're paying $70 for that shit, even though you have it for $60. You're going to pay another $70. They're not going to be like, oh, we appreciate our fan base. No, they're going to go for the money.
Yeah. True. I agree. If they're going to charge $60 for Donkey Kong Country HD and with no upgrades whatsoever, and in fact the game is actually kind of worse than the original, then
Wii U, like you can get your old like Nintendo eShop purchases or whatever, and then like it's going to be $2 to run this shit on Wii U without booting into the Wii. It's like, man, you guys are really fucking penny pinching here, right? Like, wasn't the Wii like the most successful console you guys have ever had? Oh, you're doing this after the most successful console you've ever. Oh, that's interesting. I wouldn't have done that, but okay.
All right, guys. Well, there you have it. There's our discussion on the Switch 2. Obviously, we'll have plenty more to talk about in the months and as we get later into the year ahead. More information is revealed.
I had a quick game. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Gun to your head, Austin. What is a game you want launching on Nintendo Switch 2?
Launching?
Yeah. Faster.
Mario Kart 9. I mean, that would be the one.
Kind of pussy, but all right, Coach.
F-Zero GX remastered.
Hell yeah, Seth.
Legends Arceus. I'm sorry, not Legends. Legends Zygarde.
Okay.
Z-A.
Pikmin 5. All right, cool. We did it.
I mean, Z has to stand for Zygarde, right? That's pretty obvious.
Yeah, I think so.
It's X and Y, and then Zygarde was the Z. So
Zygarde.
All right, guys. So let's get into our goals for 2025. We each came up with 3 goals. They didn't necessarily have to be game related, but again, we try and do this every year. But quickly, I want to run through our goals from last year. Now, Coach was not on this episode last year, so the only ones of us that made goals were me, Seth, and George, and we did 4. So I'll start with George, and we'll just see if we did or did not accomplish any of these. First off, I just want to clarify, Seth said at the start of the episode that if we did not finish these, we would all die. So just to put that in context. So George, you had a bonus goal at the start. You said your overall goal was to stop delaying joy. Don't keep things boxed. Don't not watch a movie just because you feel like you need to watch others first. Whatever it may be, that was something you kind of came up with. Do you feel like you accomplished that last year?
I did a great job of that. I got really into the whole, like, the big thing for me was, like, I'd buy a movie, it would show up on, like, a Wednesday, be like, oh, I should wait for Friday to watch this, just, like, make some popcorn, like, just, like, make a ritual out of it. And what would happen is I get distracted by something else, or be hanging out with Aaliyah, or, like, you dumb fucks, and then I just, like, wouldn't do it. And I would just like, oh, it's been 6 months and I haven't watched this movie. I've gotten so much better at that. So bonus goal, I would say, is accomplished. Nice. I'm caught up on most of my comics. I'm caught up on most of my Gundam models, except for, that stack of 40. You should have seen it a few weeks ago. I'm doing way better. Doing great.
So your next one, you said you really wanted to get into an online multiplayer game, and specifically you named Splatoon 3, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, or Destiny 2. And I think you decided on Splatoon in that episode. Did you ever end up playing any of that?
I tried doing Splatoon, and we were talking about this in the group chat the other day. I thought like the hub world was like really confusing and like figuring out where to go next, and like I couldn't tell if what I was doing was a campaign or a tutorial. I got really frustrated by Splatoon, so I stopped playing. I got pretty into Modern Warfare 3 when it came out this year, but one that wasn't on my radar at all. I'd say I got super fucking into Helldivers 2.
Yeah.
Like hundreds of hours into that game. Have completed every battle pass 100% except for the chemical one, which has like shitty guns that I don't want anyway, and the most current like illuminate one, which I'm slowly working my way through anyway.
The grenade in the gas one's very good though. People like love it.
There's that. There's also like the healing pistol, right? That can like
Yeah.
actually like that. And there's like the stratagems, which is like really pissing me off that like I haven't unlocked those. But it's okay. I don't even play bugs that much anymore, man. I'm always fighting them zombie horde boys.
Yeah, nice. Your next one, you said you wanted to complete a Pokedex, and you specifically said the Diamond and Pearl remake was likely the one you would do it in.
Sure didn't. Got to Victory Road and Brilliant Diamond and in Brilliant Diamond, and I actually think I got to like the Elite Four or whatever they're called. And grinding in that game sucks. Like it's so bad where I just can't find like a comfortable place to like do it where it wouldn't take me 20 hours to do, and so like I just gave up on that game. I actually started playing Let's Go Eevee because my friend just got a Nintendo Switch Lite, and he's playing through Let's Go Pikachu. I was like, oh, I'll join that so we can like trade each other our shit back and forth. And I'm closer to completing that Pokédex than I am in Brilliant Diamond, despite having spent 4 hours in the game, you know, compared to Brilliant Diamond. So I missed that one, unfortunately.
So your next one here, you said, you know, I think in years past you had maybe set goals for like getting a certain amount of platinums. So instead, you said so that you could accomplish this, your goal was to clear up 500 gigabytes of hard drive space.
So I did this and I didn't do this because I just kept getting new games, and I've since like I got rid of Far Cry 6. I was like 104 gigabytes.
Thank God.
I did not get the platinum in Jedi Survivor, but I beat the game, so that's like 150. But I also didn't download that game until like the game didn't come out until after we recorded this episode. So I'm like, all right, that doesn't really count. But like that's 250 right there. And then there was two more. Like I think I beat Guardians of the Galaxy, which was like 50. Like I didn't get there, but I got as much there as I could. So
Nice.
I'm gonna call that one like give that one like a C plus, B minus on that one.
And then your final one was not game related, but at the time, I believe it's the room you're in was like still kind of under construction, and you said you really just wanted to be downstairs. I guess is it your basement technically?
Yeah.
In your basement, you said organizing, cleaning up, and finishing that room. Which I mean, heck, it looks finished to me.
Yeah, working on it. Set up the PlayStation 2, set up the original Xbox on like my old CRT. Got my Dreamcast set up too. I recently got some more like wire management shit and like some HDMI switchers for the newer consoles and some RGB ports, so I can just like have like a single switcher set up there. So yeah, man. I'm gonna call this one also like B minus B in terms of completion. My desk is completely set up, like my computer for trivia and shit, and my office work is good. I have like a Gundam building and a PC station back there. So yeah, I'm gonna say yes.
Nice. All right, so Seth, first off, George, you did pretty good overall, actually. I guess you really accomplished a lot of those, except for maybe the Pokedex.
Goddamn Pokedex.
Yeah. Seth had a few as well, of course. His first one was to catch up on the Final Fantasy VII series before the release of Rebirth. Of course, we had recorded last year before that game came out. I think you did, right?
Nailed it, dude. Killed it.
Your next one? Well, this one and your third one are my favorites. You said you want to catch up and beat Pedro's ass on the Kaseki games. And
Right,
you
dude.
specifically said that Pedro is an absolute coward, and you said you were the John Wick of Kaseki.
Right, dude. Nailed it.
Your third one was to catch up on the High Republic novels. Did you do that?
Sure did,
I
Bow.
thought you did.
Sure as fuck did.
And then your half point goal in association with that was, and these are your words, completely ignored the Star Wars fandom because I hate them. And you said specifically, even want to can't even get it out.
Say it.
You specifically said even want to ignore.
Say it.
Hold on, I'm trying. Even want to ignore Coach. Quote, I despise him.
Why?
I'm just kidding, buddy. You were here. I love you.
How did that go? Did you succeed?
Coach, that was when you hadn't been on an episode in like 4 months, and we were like talking about you like you were like a ghost.
4 months.
Yeah, there was a stretch where you weren't really on the podcast, and we were just like, yeah, maybe next week. Coach keeps messaging us like, hope it's next week, and then saying that he was just shit, like wants to ignore all of Star Wars fans because he hates them, especially Coach. I despise him. I completely forgot about that until I saw your notes, Austin.
Loved by few, despised by many.
All right, and then your last one was to branch out in game genres. You had brought up the fact that you were very RPG focused and wanted to try more.
Yeah, I think I did. I think I did. I got really into Helldivers this year, which I normally would not do. I tried out some racing games. I played. There was a shooter I tried playing with my buddies. I even tried out Marvel Rivals recently.
Yeah,
not
good.
Nah, it's not that it's not good. It's just not for me. I can see why other people would like it. It's very Overwatchy.
I think it's pretty good. Yeah, I think the game is pretty
it's
good.
very unbalanced, is my opinion. But yeah, I mean, from what I remember you played like Space Marine this year, and I think you had brought up like Lethal Company at one point, and yeah, it seemed like you played a lot more outside of the RPG sphere.
I was giving her the old college try. I think I went 10 for 10 this year.
You dip your toes back into fighting games at all? No.
I thought about it. You know what? I downloaded. Is it Tekken 8? Is the latest one?
Yeah.
I downloaded the demo for that, and I immediately got my ass pummeled, and I was like, "All right, this sucks. Uninstalling this."
All right. Well, now that we've had 2 successful series of goals, let's go to my final utter failure for my goals.
Right out the gate.
What the hell was this first one that I said immediately? Play Sonic Mania Plus, Sonic Unleashed, Sonic Colors Remastered, Sonic Generations, and Sonic Frontiers.
God damn.
I mean,
I think I played one of those.
That's like what, 45 hours of games?
Yeah. I mean, they're not that long.
So that's like less than an hour a week.
Yeah,
and you didn't do it because you're a baby quitter.
I did beat Sonic Mania Plus, so I beat one of them.
How long is that one?
Gosh, I don't know. All it is Sonic 1, 2, or no, that was Sonic. No, okay, never mind. I didn't play any of these because I'm thinking of Sonic. Sonic Origins Collection is the one I played this year that has Sonic 1, 2, and 3 and Knuckles, like all remastered. And I did play all of those through.
So you played a Sonic game, but it was the only one that wasn't on your...
Yeah, of course.
Wow, checks
out. I said I wanted to play more games that were released on the PS3 generation or older. I don't think I really did that. From what I can recall. So, not great.
I did better at your goal. Also, Sonic Mania Plus, 5 hours.
Yeah.
It's like a sitting. 2 sittings.
I'd say I succeeded at this next one. I said I wanted to read more books, and I did read several books this year. Definitely not as many as I was hoping for, I think, when I set out that goal, but I did read Project Hail Mary, and I read The Sphere by Michael Crichton like early in the year, which was actually really good compared to the movie. So
yeah.
And then
He's
recently,
such an awesome writer.
Yes. Recently I read The 3-Body Problem, the first book in that series. I need to read the other 2, but it's a Chinese novel series that's a Netflix show now. But it's sci-fi and it's actually really interesting. So I would say I accomplished that. And then the final one, what the hell? Beat Persona 3 Reload. Seth said, you're going to do that. I didn't even buy the game. Didn't even buy it. Don't even own it. So there we have it. George is rolling backwards. I'm assuming he's pulling out his copy of Persona 3 Reload. He is. He is. Very good.
I don't even like Persona, and even I was just like, oh wow, $20 for a Persona 3 Reload. That's a really good deal. I can't pass that up.
Well, apparently I could. So, all right. So let's get into
what did we learn about our goals this year in terms of setting realistic goals?
Trust me, I'm setting realistic goals this year. It's happening this time. I hope I can succeed.
Beat Sonic 1 and 2, not 3. Yeah.
Play Sonic Adventure 2 approximately 7 times. All right.
That's a pretty tall order. I'd say like 20 minutes, just so you can knock it out in one sitting.
So our goals for 2025, I want to start with Coach, obviously, since we haven't had a voice from him in a while. So Coach, why don't we just go like all the way through, since we've been going for a while. Why don't we just go Coach, and then you give all 3 of yours, and we can discuss them.
Okay. All right. So goal number 1, I want to get 12 platinums this year, 1 a month. So, and I've already, this month, I've already achieved that goal. I beat Star Wars: The Clone Wars. Remember on the Xbox when it came with the double game?
Yeah, that
had Tetris. Yeah. So I beat the PS5 and then I beat the PS4. So, but I'm only going to count it like as 1 platinum, right? Even though there's 2 of those. Yes. Good. And so for February, which I already started since I beat that a little bit early, is Sonic Frontiers. So that's what's next, right? So that's my first one, is 12 platinums and 12 games. And one of those platinums will be, so this is going to be the tough one, will be Dynasty Warriors Origins.
There you go.
Yes. That will be part of the 12 platinums. Okay, number 2. Okay, so quarterly, I will beat 1 new game for 2025 that's released. So that way I have something to give at the end of the stupid freaking year when we do our Game of the Year award, right? So I'll have some platinums when we give our favorite game, and then our 2025 Game of the Year, right? So I'll be able to really give into that podcast. Okay.
Nice.
So one every January, February, March is going to be Dynasty Warriors, right?
Wow.
After that, I don't know. I do not know. Anyways, okay, and my third and final is going to make a platinum video. I don't know which game yet, but people make those cool like platinum games where they talk about in like maybe 10 minutes all of the trophies. Just for fun, I want to do that. So I'll do that when I get home in August, right? End of August, and wherever I land, I don't know where I'm going to be living, but I did get a capture card, so I'm going to start with the PS5 version of Sonic and just start recording all my gameplay of my platinums, and I'll choose one and I'll make a platinum video this year for the channel.
Nice.
Ooh.
Yes, and
Hell
streaming
yeah.
too. Gonna be streaming some Muso.
Very good.
Yes.
Seth, what are your goals for 2025?
All right. Number 1 goal. Catch up on the Yakuza series. Falling behind. I am playing through Yakuza 7 right now. Beginning, not pulling me in as much. But I've heard Infinite Wealth is like phenomenal, and I have to play Ninja Gaiden, the man who lost his name, or forgot his name, or whatever it is. I'm sorry, not Ninja Gaiden, Yakuza Gaiden, I think it is. I don't know. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of games. Got to catch up. Infinite Wealth, really excited to do that one. Apparently, there's like a very in-depth Pokemon clone in Infinite Wealth that I'm really excited to play. They're pretty fun games all around. I'd really like to catch up on them because they release 17 of them per year. So that's my first one. My second one, and this is where I start firing some shots, boys. My plan is to get my hands on the Switch 2 before Austin. and that's got to be in home, right? It got to be through the door first. Going down, sucker.
All right. That's good. Okay. Well, that's going to be interesting. That's going to be interesting. I don't know how I feel about that one.
Now, you have a little bit of an advantage on me here because you live in a very metro area.
That's right.
Me, not so much.
Who knows where
you
you
travel quite a ways.
It's tough. It's tough because like that means it's more likely to sell out where Austin is. Like he's going to have higher supply, but there's also going to be higher demand. You're going to have lower supply. In theory, you'll have lower demand. I don't know. It's anyone's race. I'm actually really excited. Can I make Coach? You want to make a bet? Who do you think's going to get the Switch 2 through the door first, Seth or Austin?
Depends where it's shipped.
That's not what we're. Yeah, it does. I agree. Who do you think is going to get one first?
I'm gonna say Seth will. I'm gonna put my money on
what
Seth.
the hell?
I wanted to take Seth too, so I'll put $5 on Austin.
Okay, there we go.
I'm the
Thank
John
you,
Wick of Switch getting, baby. And
Coach, $5 bet.
Okay. I like it.
now there's pressure.
Don't fuck me, Austin.
Oh, I won't.
Well, my last goal is to visit 5 unique retro game stores.
Nice.
And I'm missing the secondary unique. Yes,
So
I can't just go to the same store
explain
5
that.
times. I can't go to the same store 5 times.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm going to set a secondary goal for myself here. They cannot be stores I've already been to. They got to be new places.
Nice.
How explored is your area right now?
Barren.
You've been to them all, is what you're saying, or there just aren't any. Okay.
There is one in both east and west, both about 30 to 45 minutes away. I've been to both of them.
Would you
Gonna do some traveling?
Yeah, if you went to like a Comic-Con and there's like vendors there, would you count that? No,
not count that. I'm not taking the easy way out. Not
an easy way out. They bring their best shit to cons. Like Baltimore Comic-Con had an amazing selection of retro games. So like I almost spent more money on that shit than actual comics.
I just enjoy going to like new game stores, seeing their setup, seeing what they have for sale. It's almost like a little bit of a museum activity for me.
Yeah,
although I will say, Austin, when our wedding rolls around, we will be going to the chain of video game stores in Lancaster.
Okay.
That is a necessary thing to happen.
Well, there are like 4 game stores near me. So if you really need to like rack some up, I mean,
You make a competition out of this or something, pal?
just hold on.
Buddy?
I haven't done my goals yet.
All right.
So
I'm not your pal, friend.
George, go ahead. What are yours?
All right. In honor of setting wildly foolish expectations in previous years, I decided to make like 2015 Seth. I want to bang it out and then I want to rein it in. Okay, that's
That's a throwback. I forgot about that.
That is a throwback. I brought that up with Aaliyah the other night when she was like driving back from Pennsylvania or whatever, and she's like, yeah, I think I need an energy drink. And I was like, yeah, you need to bang it out and rein it in. She's like, what the fuck did you just say to me? And I was like, no, it's cool. You know the weird guy on my podcast, Seth? And she's like, yes, I do. Explained it. My first goal, this is the reach goal. It's something I really want to do. I want to finish. I at least want to get up to Final Fantasy VII. I got through all of Final Fantasy 1, had a great time. I am so close to being done with Final Fantasy 2. I was postponing it because I couldn't get the platinum because of Far Cry obligations. I want to do that. I want to do Final Fantasy 3. Those games are so much fun. Final Fantasy 1 fucking rocks. It has nothing to do with the other games I'm familiar with in the series. It's very much like a Western RPG with just like Japanese mechanics, but I'm like, this is great. This is awesome. I want to do the rest of them, and I at least want to get caught up through 7. It's honestly, I just really want to play Rebirth. That's all I really care about at this point. I love 15 so much, and I know it's like, oh, your first one's your favorite one. It was the first one I finished, and so like I want to see more of this series. So at least get up through 7. I was really proud of myself because sorry, that was goal one. Gaming goal two. I was really proud of myself because I hacked a Wii, and then I ripped my entire GameCube collection, and I want to get back to it, and I want to finish my Wii collection, which I never started. But more importantly, I tried to set up Dolphin on my Steam Deck, and I almost threw my Steam Deck into the fucking ocean. Like, I was so frustrated trying to set up an emulator on the Steam Deck, and I'm just not as tech savvy as you guys. I fully understand that. I couldn't find a tutorial that I could follow. I couldn't find any written instructions that I could follow. I got a little over my skis after the Wii, thinking like, I can do fucking anything. Like, no, I can't. So I need to, big goal. I really just want to turn my Steam Deck into a portable GameCube. That's all I honestly care about. And third of all, I'm in the middle of a war right now. I have a friend named Colin, who for all intents and purposes is my Pedro. And we don't battle with Isekai. Is that what those games are called? Isekai? Kaseki?
No, Kaseki.
Kaseki, sorry. Is Isekai, is that a type of manga
Type
porn?
of anime.
Okay.
It's type of
Okay.
Could be.
Okay. And we're in the middle of a trophy war. We signed like a document when we were together. He came out to visit for New Year's, and we like set out ground rules. And we're in the middle of like a formal trophy war that takes place throughout the entire calendar year of 2025. I have 96 trophies. He has 114. Sorry, I have 96 platinum trophies. He has 114 platinum trophies. This is the guy who made the bet with me that held me up with Far Cry 6. So fuck this guy into the sun. I hate him.
Oh.
And this war is being fought on two fronts. The first war is total number of platinum trophies obtained within the calendar year of 2025. And the second war is whoever has the most total trophies at the end of 2025. So you could either tie, lose, or win. I intend to win this trophy war. So I need to catch up to him, and I need to just get more platinums this year. So I didn't notice how I didn't be like, I really respect Coach's thing of just doing 12. I always got too big. I always got too big for my britches and set the goals way too high. I need to be more realistic. So whatever it takes to win is what I'm going to do. I also have some backdoor platinums that I'm really excited. Like, look, do I have Hannah Montana the movie, the game on PlayStation 3? Like, in case emergency break glass? You're goddamn right I do. Do I have Megamind on PlayStation 3 in case emergency break glass? Absolutely. Toy Story 3? Yeah, of course I do. I've got all these things. I think that one's trash. Like, I have to like play the game.
Oh,
I don't want it to just be like a little taparooski.
that's playing.
I could have. What I should have done was I should have gotten My Name is Mayo between us setting up the trophy war and then like the new year ringing in. So I could have like closed the gap on total platinums, but not have that count as like the You know what I mean? Just to whatever. But so beat Colin. Beat Colin at all costs.
Beat his ass.
Yeah,
I like that.
I like it. Very good.
Fuck our Pedros. Seth.
Yeah.
All right.
So how many do you think you can get, George? Realistically, a number.
I printed out. I went to. I'm going to talk about this more. We were talking about one episode of just like what support shit we use for gaming. Like, in addition to playing games, like what we do. It's like what news sites do we go to? Which podcasts do we listen to? Which gaming adjacent sites do we use? Like, that's honestly like I'm really excited for that. Not because I want to brag about mine, but I'm really interested in hearing yours. The one I use the most is called psnprofiles.com.
Yeah, I think that's
you make an account there, and they have this one feature there called Trophy Advisor, where it shows you the trophies in the games you have that are most commonly held by the most players. So it's like, oh, you don't have this one trophy from GTA 5. 96% of anyone who's ever played GTA 5 has this trophy. Why don't you have this trophy? And then you can organize it by platinum trophies to see like, of all the platinum trophies you don't have, these are the most commonly held ones. And so I did that, and then I wrote out the next 100 platinum trophies according to easiness. And I went up and like, cross-referenced them with their guides and how long to beat to figure out how long it would realistically take. And I gotta be honest, guys, I think my next platinum trophy, I gotta get it after Spider-Man 2. It's probably gonna be Taco Master on PlayStation Vita, because I never got that platinum. You guys remember Taco Master?
I don't remember that game at all.
No.
Oh, it's literally like a screen iPhone game, basically on Vita, where you have to like slide ingredients to make tacos to order. It's Cooking Mama, but with touchscreen.
Hey,
And that I remember like
that's a
Greg
game.
and Colin getting into a huge fight, like waiting in line, I think, to see Avengers 2 or something, like during the Kind of Funny days, and like them racing to see who could get the Taco
Oh my
Master platinum trophy first.
Well, definitely one of mine is going to be Dark Forces for show.
Hell
Gotta
yeah.
get some boomer shooters.
How hard was the Clone Wars one?
You know what? It was fun. I mean, there was some. It hasn't aged well, but it was still fun because it had the footprint of Rogue Squadron, where you have 3 different bonus objectives that you gotta fulfill. You know, there's a few that were timed, but a lot of it was like Anakin on foot, kill 100 enemies. Mace Windu on foot, kill 100 enemies. You know,
Gotcha.
so it was fun. I enjoyed it. Like at first, I'm like, "Ooh, it's rough," but once I got past all that and I just got having fun in the game, I'm like, okay, so why doesn't is it LucasArts now? Is that who does, or Lucas Games, right? Who's the one for Star Wars that does the video games?
Yeah.
I thought they were disbanded.
They're not around
They were-
anymore, but it was Lucas Games
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah, but they created a new one. But anyways,
Oh, did they?
why not just take games like this and just make sequels? It's that aren't going to be long games, but are going to still make money for you. Just saying.
Coach, I don't want to be rude. I just looked it up on PSN profiles. It says it's a 2 out of 10 difficulty and it takes 5 hours to platinum. So yeah, I will absolutely get this platinum this weekend. It seems pretty like just, you know, first piggy in that fairy tale about.
I'm going to be hitting a lot of 2s
blowing
and
the house down.
3s.
Yeah.
No shame.
Hell yeah, buddy. Trophy's a trophy, no matter how short. Yeah.
All right,
But,
guys.
I mean, for me, it's you got to play it, right? You got to like, and it was fun. It was a fun game. Like the story was a good alternate Clone Wars game, which Clone Wars is Seth's favorite era in Star Wars.
Well documented.
Was,
Yeah.
was that sarcastic? Because I legitimately do love the Clone Wars.
I know.
I thought you said you're tired of it.
We know you're sick
Well,
of
I
it.
mean, I am, yeah, because everything comes out. But like, yeah, I love the Clone Wars.
Yeah, same. But anyways, all right.
All right, so my 3. My first one, I'm taking some real Seth energy here, okay? And I've learned from last year. I've learned from last year.
First goal, murder Seth.
Beat his ass.
Literally just stop caring is my first goal.
Oh,
Okay, all right. I'm gonna write that down.
So
Austin, don't give a shit no more.
and what I mean by that is, and this is actually more akin to what George's thing was last year with his bonus goal of don't delay joy. I feel like I've got this thing in my head, and this has been built into me for so long of like needing to play the 5 games in a series that came before the new game that came out in order to play the new one. I'm never going to play them. I don't have time. I always have this lofty goal of playing Final Fantasy VII and
Witcher.
Crisis Core and Remake and Rebirth. Like, no. You know
all the
what?
Sonic games.
I'm just going to play Rebirth. Or remake this year, not Rebirth.
You don't want to be lost in the Sonic sauce. So yeah, you
Yeah.
got to play all the Sonic games in order. Yeah.
I think I'm just kind of over, or like Yakuza 7. Like, maybe just jump into that.
Just play Infinite Wealth. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can jump into Yakuza 7.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I've always been in this mindset of I need to play all the games that came before, and every time I set a goal like that, you know, goals episode aside, when I think of, hey, I want to play all these games so that I can have a better understanding of the new one, it just doesn't happen because I'd never have time to do that as a working adult. So that's really what I mean by that goal. And so I would love to at some point this year, you know, play Yakuza, or even when Metroid Prime 4 comes out. You know, we were talking the other day about playing 1, 2, and 3. I don't need to play 1, 2, and 3. I can just play 4. There's no law telling me I need to play 1, 2, and 3 before 4 comes out. So just stuff like that as an example.
You can start with Remake in Final Fantasy VII. My buddy Robert's doing it right now. He started with Remake, then went and played Crisis Core, and now he's playing Rebirth.
Yeah.
You can't start with Rebirth. That doesn't make you wouldn't
No.
understand anything going on.
Yeah. So
Makes sense.
So that's one of mine. My second one, and this is realistic, is enjoy Monster Hunter Wilds for what it is and don't necessarily worry about rushing through it or getting to the end as fast as possible. I think that hurt me greatly with Tears of the Kingdom. I think when that game came out, and a lot of why I don't like it now is because there was such a push to get to the end and like see what happened, and everybody else was all about getting to the end of that game and seeing the story. And I think I was so focused on that it made me really hate that game, and I still don't like it. But when World came out, 7 years ago at this point, that was the only game I played for like a year and a half, and I just, played it and enjoyed it for what it was, and didn't focus on, getting to the end as quickly as possible or rushing through the game. And so I just hope to, with it being my favorite series, I hope to just sit down and enjoy it for what it is, and play it. So, and then my final one is go to 6 game stores and Seth. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, I was about to get so excited.
My final one is Master Mario Kart 9 and Sonic Racing Crossroads, and I said in a asterisk, if it's good, and destroy the dreams of as many children and families as possible.
Yeah.
So,
fuck them kids.
We might be able to do that with Halo.
Ooh.
Because it might be coming to a Switch, right? So,
that's true.
Just
Yeah.
That's true. So, no, obviously I love Mario Kart 8, and I did get really good at it over time. And the same thing goes for Sonic Racing Transformed, which I absolutely adore that game. So I hope this new one is as good. But I'd love to get competitive, like with Mario Kart. Like, I'd love to try and do competitive racing, which I've never done before. So we'll see. We'll see what comes of that game. It looks
Let me
good
ask
in
you
the 5
this.
seconds we've seen.
Let me ask you this, Austin. What do you want new for Mario Kart 9?
I really don't know, to be honest with you. I mean, if you had asked me that question like before 7 came out, for example, I probably wouldn't have said like the gliders, or with 8, I wouldn't have said necessarily the zero gravity and like the boosting off each other when you're in that zero gravity mode, because it's just not something I would have predicted. I hope in a way that we maybe get something. I guess this isn't a great answer, but I hope it's just something innovative. Like, I hope it's like Double Dash, where we had the character swapping and the different characters and stuff that you could do in that game. Something in that vein that's just not something I would have ever expected or predicted. I just hope that there's something there that really changes up the game enough. I know a lot of people are pointing out like the gas stations, and apparently there are gas cans on the carts in that little snippet that we saw on the Switch 2 trailer. So it seems like maybe there's some sort of like boost mechanic where like you can store up a boost, not necessarily just from a mushroom. Almost akin to F-Zero, where like when you drive on the energy pad, you gain energy, right. Except maybe it would be when you drive through a gas station, you get like some nitrous or something like that. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know that that's enough for me, but I hope that there's something in there that makes it fresh.
I always thought it would be cool. I was thinking about this weekend, that if somehow for a DLC, doesn't have to be the base game, but they would cross over with like NASCAR. Take some of I know they can't do Budweiser, right? But do the Bud 8 or Dale Earnhardt's 3, right?
Yeah.
Like Jeff Gordon's 24. Do these really high profile cars, but put them into carts in Mario Kart World. I thought that'd be something like as a DLC that you could get people to like. It'd be different.
I mean, hey, if we can get Mercedes-Benz cars in Mario Kart 8, like, I think something like that is not necessarily out of the realm of possibility. So, right. I will say, like, the thing I keep thinking about with this game is, are they going to proceed in making Mario Kart more Smash Brothers like with their roster? Because in 8 you had Link, you had the Splatoon characters, you had Animal Crossing characters. You didn't have characters, but you had carts from F-Zero. So that's something I've thought about too. Is are they going to kind of Smash Brothers eyes Mario Kart and add in more characters from other games into this series? Which, I don't know. I think could work if they choose the right ones. So we'll see.
Was it 8 where you can choose your Mii character and have like Samus's helmet?
Yeah,
that was pretty cool, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'm always going to be Donkey Kong, so it doesn't matter. It's fine. Bring whoever the fuck you want into the game. I'm always going to be Donkey Kong. That's okay.
How do you feel about the Donkey Kong redesign? We didn't talk about that at all.
Oh, I don't care. Like, I don't give a shit.
There we go.
Like,
You heard it here
like,
first.
oh, R.I.P. Rare Donkey. It's like, I never play those games on Super Nintendo. I don't care.
I think it looks good. I like it. I mean, it obviously goes back to the original design. So
I mean, what they're saying is like they want it to be like this. He's now like an older Donkey Kong, right? Like more in line with like Cranky Kong.
The movie.
Who gives a shit? Like, it's such a weird thing to get caught up on. Honestly, I think it's weird for Nintendo to like make a decision, and I think it's weirder for people to have an opinion on that decision. Sorry, and I'm not shitting on you guys. It's weird for someone to have a strong opinion on that decision.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
No,
I like it.
care.
That's a completely normal response. I don't like it. That's a completely normal response. Like, they're ruining the fucking character. Like, that's a fucking freak thing to say about this. You little
some
weird
Donkey
goblin.
Kong freaks. Yeah.
Yeah, some DK freaks don't want it. Leave me alone.
Did you ever play the
Donkey Konga?
Yeah.
I haven't. I've actually been like looking to hunt that one down.
One of them is like the kind of like the predecessor kind of to Donkey Kong Country Returns. You know, yeah, I think you still have your boss battles, but you're still using that. So I think they pulled from that. So yeah,
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I forget which one. I'll find out. I'll that's my do out, as they say in our meetings in military. I got a do out.
Yeah. So those are mine. I do hope. Just quick note, I do hope Sonic Racing Crossroads is good. I mean, we've seen literally nothing of it, but I love the Sonic Racing Transformed. I started playing with it again the other day. George just pulled out his Taiko no Tatsujin drum pad.
To Tacoma.
Yes, Toyota Tacoma. Yeah, that's what I got.
Very good.
Forerunner. Yeah.
All right, guys. Any final notes here? Comments?
I think we're gonna do it this year. I think we're gonna make it.
Yeah.
Also, I feel like
it.
now that you don't have the pressure of doing the Sonic games, you're way more likely to play the Sonic games this year than you were.
Oh yeah,
last year.
for sure, for sure. I actually started playing Unleashed recently, like within the past few weeks on Series X. So that's something. So
Is it good?
Yeah, it runs really well. It got that 60 frames update
Boost.
So yeah. But anyway, there you have it. All right, guys. Thank you all for watching. If you have been, leave your comments or reply to us with your goals for the year. I'd love to hear them. And till next time, I guess we'll see you later.
Peace out.
Later.
Smooch.
Don't forget you can find the show on social media. Frameskip Pod, that's on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can also follow us each individually on Twitter. George is at Shortbox Summary, Seth is at Seth the 90s Kid, and I, Austin Eller, am at Austin J. Eller on Twitter. If you've got a question, comment, or topic you'd like to hear discussed on the next episode of Frameskip, you can do so by submitting it to us on social media. Email us at frameskippodcast@gmail.com or visit bit.ly/frameskipq. That's bit.ly/frameskipq. The show is typically live on YouTube every week, either on Tuesday or Wednesday. You can find our YouTube channel at bit.ly/frameskiplive. Don't forget to subscribe and be notified when we do go live, typically at about 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you next time.